morning, my name is Mike Durnford. I am the Environmental Risk Manager for the Environmental Management Division on the island of St Helena, working for the St Helena Government.
Good morning, my name is Patrick Crowley. I'm landfill site operator for St Helena Government.
We targeted training within the waste management industry to meet the needs of the island, primarily to move the management of waste up the waste hierarchy and to adopt more effective waste management practices. We identified CIWM as being our preferred training provider, and between myself and CIWM we put together a bespoke training package. That training was to be delivered to myself and Patrick, who both work for St Helena Government, and to two other individuals who represent the private sector on St Helena.
And basically I just work on a landfill site. Whatever rubbish come in, then basically just put it in a hole and bury it. The training is a big help for me because, as I said before, all we do is just everything goes in the landfill. But with this training, it kind of helps us to understand what can come out of the landfill site, which don't even have to go in there to start with, and the amount of money that can be made from this waste that we take for granted is just rubbish.
Certainly it's going to have a major impact on the island if we can access appropriate funding and procurement of plant and infrastructure to develop a materials recycling facility, a MRF, as we have seen through exposure as part of this training course. Then I believe that we can significantly reduce the volume of waste going into landfill and potentially recycle initially up to 60% of the domestic and commercial waste stream which is produced, which would not only move waste up the waste hierarchy, would give a green brand tick which would support ecotourism on the island, but would also generate revenue for government which can be put back into the environment. From a government perspective, and more than likely from a private sector perspective, every aspect of the training course, because it was a bespoke, tailor-made course which targeted all of the areas of new learning that we needed for ourselves. So from recycling waste for construction industry, e.g. glass, into cullet or sand, that's probably more beneficial for the private sector, but it's government supported and will be government supported on the island.
There's quite a bit to take in 9 days, but having these to take back with us, we can always relate back to here if it is something you need to know. I
would just personally like to thank not only CIWM for the training which they provided with the venue for our learning, which obviously is a key part of making the most of the opportunity, but also to my colleagues who have joined me on this trip. For Patrick, I think it's been a big learning curve, but hopefully a beneficial one. It's certainly been an opportunity to experience the industry off the island. A package was put together very, very quickly. It certainly met our needs. CIWM, as I said before, were the preferred training provider because they had the industry expertise freely available. Patrick Pointer, who delivered the training, delivered it in a manner that was easy to understand. The exposure visits were extremely beneficial, and therefore, yeah, wholeheartedly I would extremely recommend the CIWM as a bespoke training provider. For us, being a remote island in the South Atlantic, it's not a matter of getting on a plane, coming and doing a week's training and going home again. We will have spent 7.5 weeks off the island. So whereas the learning has been invaluable, I believe we're all looking forward to going back home.